Hello, I am Ben Rajesh from Mechanical Department. Today we are going to see about how to calibrate a thermocouple equipment through this device. So before going into that, we should know about what is calibration. When you go for the metrology, we have two terms, key terms named as measurement and calibration. Measurement, what is measurement? Measurement is the value of comparing two ratios, or say for example when you go to the grocery shop and you are asking 1 kg of apple. So what he will do, he is placing a dead weight of 1 kg on left hand side pan, and he will load the right hand side pan with 1 kg of apples, and he lift it down, and the needle has to tilt it on any side wherever the uneven balance is there. Then after you correct it down, then it will come to the neutral area. Then what is the meaning of it? It was the unknown quantity of the apple is equivalent to the known kg of 1 kg dead weight. That we call it as the measurement. So measurement is the value of taking two ratios. One is a known ratio, the other one is the unknown ratio. Similarly, calibration. What is calibration? Calibration is the science of studying the measurement. Say for example, the grocery shop owner, the same grocery shop owner, he is claiming that the 1 kg dead weight, whatever he is using it for measuring the unknown quantity of apples, may be equivalent to 1 kg, or he can also tamper the dead weight of 1 kg, and he say that this was 1 kg. So how as a consumer you can able to believe that? Then you need a certain testifying device to understand whether the 1 kg projected by the grocery shop owner is equivalent to 1 kg or not. That process we call it as calibration. Usually calibration will be done by government agencies called as metrology department. They have a inspector, and they will be coming once in 6 months to each grocery shops, and they will be certifying the dead weights and all the the oil standards. So if they use the vessels to measure the oil or different kinds of standards, whatever they are using it in the shops, that has to be certified by that agency, and they will give the stamp named as ISI. After 6 months, the grocery shop owner have to go to the metrology department, and he has to re-evaluate himself all his standards, and then he has to get certification. Okay, so now we are going to see about how the government officials are going to testify each standards which was used in the grocery shop. One such was the measuring your thermometer. Say for example, if you went to the hospital and the nurse was inserting a thermometer inside your tongue and is saying that you have 80 degree, 90 degree, how you will believe that? Maybe mercury will have a different boiling point, and you are located in a cold environment where the climate temperature was boiled down to less than 30 or less than 20 degrees centigrade. So you have a fever, and the mercury will be reacting according to the environment, and we can't believe the mercury is the exact value which was displayed on the graduated device. So we need a certain testifying device that will tell you exactly that whether the measurement of your mercury thermometer is right or not. For that we have a special kit named as calibration of thermocouple. So first I have told you what is calibration. Calibration means comparing two equipments. One is your equipment, whatever which is used in the day-to-day practice. The other one which will be in the lab, we call that as a primary standard. Primary standard is the one which will be calibrated to the high precise value, and that value will be compared with the day-to-day practice equipment which will be used in the grocery shops. Say for example, I told you 1 kg dead weight, or the standard thermometer which is used in the hospitals. So these two has to be calibrated once in 6 months for the regular day-to-day practice use, day-to-day practice. So for the lab we have a primary standard, we call it as calibration of thermocouple. I have told you what is calibration. Now we'll go for the thermocouple. Thermocouple, this was a term coined by a person named as Seebeck in the year 18th century. What is the definition behind thermocouple? It was born with the theory of Seebeck effect. That the effect was named after the scientist Seebeck. Basically, while he was doing an experiment in his lab, he identified a random, unique results from that experiment, and he tried to understand what is that. He had a hot water in a vessel, and the other one is a cold water, and he inserted a specific device called as a thermocouple. Okay, so this is a thermocouple, and he inserted the same thermocouple. He made two identical pieces of thermocouple, and one in a hot part, the other one in the cold part. Okay, and he has connected with the ammeter. And now he find out the remarkable value which was shown in the ammeter. Usually ammeter is a device used for measuring your current generation, power generation. Okay, so this thermocouple was inserted one in the hot water and the hot water kettle, and the other one is in the cold water kettle. Now he connected the port with the ammeter, and he find out that the difference in the temperatures on the two extreme junctions can able to provide a tiny EMF, and it can able to generate the amperes in the form of milliampere units. And he tested with different compositions, and he developed a Seebeck effect with three basic points. One is that the composition, whatever you are using it here, should not be a like one. Say for example, if you take a copper, the other side should also be not a copper, it should be a different material. So basically what they'll use, here this couple we call it as J-type thermocouple, which is in the black color, which is used for identity. Black color wire will be used for J-type thermocouple, and it will be made up of Constantine and aluminum. Aluminum and Constantine are combined together and formed alloy, and this will be kept inside a tiny cylinder. This is a hollow cylinder inside which we have a soldered two material together, and this was the outside capsule to prevent the direct entry of water inside the junction. So this was a protective layer, and these two the alloys which will be welded together and it will be kept inside. So these two identical pieces, if you kept it in the two different junction, one at the hot water junction, the other one in the cold water junction, the difference between these temperature will be responsible for generating your power in terms of milliamperes. Second condition is saying that if both kettles have the same temperature, say one in 32 degree and the other kettle is also on 32 degree, and you are keeping the J-type thermocouple on both sides, there will not be any power generated. Then he concluded, the second statement said that if you don't have any difference in the temperature, there will not be any chance of generating your power. And third one, he said that if suppose you have, instead of two junctions, if you have three junctions, then what is the power you can able to get? So he said that if suppose one at the 34 degree, other one is at 23, and the third one is at 12 degree centigrade. So each difference, like 34 minus 23 will be the A, and 23 minus 12 will be the B. So A plus B, the difference, the accumulation of two differences will provide a combined ammeter here. That means the power which is whatever displayed on the ammeter will be will be generated because of the difference between three kettles instead of two kettles. So this was the three basic points he has generated. So for your understanding, I am recapping it again. We should not use a same material. Say for example, if you use copper at one side, the same copper should not be welded on the other side. These two materials should be unique metal, and it has to be soldered together. Second law is saying that if you have two kettles of water, should not be in same temperature. And third one, he said that instead of two kettles, if you have three kettles of water, three at boiling at three different temperatures, and the power generated will be because of the difference between three kettles. These are the three laws he has made. Then that becomes a basis for creating your calibration of thermocouple. Now we will go inside how to measure that equipment. So first one, like when you see this kit, we have two probes which is coming on from the two sides. One is your RTD, resistance temperature detector. I told you that calibration is a process of comparing two equipments. One equipment, I have to treat that as a standard equipment or ideal equipment. Whatever this equipment probe is going to say, that value I have to believe, and I'm going to say that this was the perfect value. There will not be any chance of getting error inside that. So if suppose any variation is there, then that will be, I try to convince that even if it has some adverse effects on the environment, but that will not be going to degrade the measurement efficiency of this equipment. So that is my belief, and that makes it to be selected as ideal equipment. So what is the ideal equipment? RTD, resistance temperature detector, and that will be identified by white wire. So for your understanding, you can keep that as white wire. So this will be connected on one side, and the probes, like we have two probes. One has see here, this is RTD probe, which will be having a VGA type junction, and we have to insert it here. And the right side dial, we have two displays here, and the right side display will tell you what is the temperature of your water. The cold water was placed inside, and this was your RTD sensor, which is your standard equipment. I'm going to connect with the right side display, and that is saying that 28.3 degrees centigrade. So I believe this as the unargumentable accepted value. There will not be any chance of tampering or any kind of deviation will be there. No bias, it's an accurate value. So with that, I'm going to compare our thermocouple. So what I'm trying to say that thermocouple is a variable here. Thermocouple may have some errors inside, inherited errors will be there. So we are going to test how far it is having an equivalent efficiency with respect to this equipment named as RTD, resistance temperature detector. So the first one, we have to insert this one, and second one I'm going to insert my thermocouple inside, and this value should also be monitored by these probes. You know, we have a red junction, other one is a blue junction. These two will be telling you carrying you the positive and negative signal of your electrical current which was carried over from there. So your red with the red probe here, and your black plug with your black probe. So after you connect it down, you will get some values from this display, the left side display. Okay, so now you the next step for yourself is you have to give the equivalent value. That means, you know, you have to start the values from same origin. You know, when you plot the graph, both values has to start from the same point. So what we have to do, we have to adjust these two knobs and to reduce the value so that both display will have a same value. Say for example, the right side is showing 28.6 degree as a water which is kept at the room temperature, whereas the left side display is saying that it is at 31.8. So I have told you that the right side equipment will not lie at any point. So the white color wire which has the RTD equipment inside will not have any chance of biasing value. So I'm going to fix this as to the right value, and the other one I'm going to modify, or I'm going to correct it down as like zero error correction. I'm going to correct it down so that both values has to start from the same point. So 31.9 can be reduced to 28.6 by using a coarse knob. We have a coarse and fine knob. Coarse knob, when you revolve this knob, it will provide a major changes in your actual value. Fine knob is for fine tuning. You can reduce it in 0.1, 0.2 degrees centigrade. So I'm going to have a major change first, then I can go for fine knob change. So it is showing 28.6, this is showing 31, so I am going to change it into 28.6. So now I have altered and both have shown 28.6. Yeah, so we kept both in the same equipment. So now as per our information that both are starting from the same origin point, and then second process what we have to do, we have to start the boiler which is kept inside the kettle. It is like a sterilizing kettle which is kept in the hospitals for heating your syringes. So the same kettle we are using it here, a small heating coil will be kept inside. When you excite the temperature, what will happen, it will be increasing by every 5 or 10 degrees centigrade, and you have to monitor the change in the degree Celsius by these two displays. So every 10 degree you have to find out what is the equipment which is at the right says, what is the left equipment, that is our thermocouple which is a variable equipment, how much it is going to predict. So the difference between these two will help you to understand how far my thermocouple have the efficiency inside. Because I believe that this is ideal equipment, there is no chance of doing any kind of mistake in its measurement. So I suspect the black color thermocouple is going to have some error inside. So how far it can be, whether this is a controllable error or uncontrollable error, these two we have to identify. So let us start the equipment now, the boiling kettle. I am going to start it down. So you have to wait for 5 minutes between one iteration and the other iteration. It will take some few minutes to boil itself. How to know whether it is boiling it or not? You will get a small tiny sound from the kettle, as well as the bubbles will be coming up from the water. So what is the meaning of that? The bubbles is the burning oxygen which will be liberated from the water. So we can understand that the oxygen is coming out, so the boiling process is started. We should not touch the water as the current was going inside the water. It's not safe for touch and sense that whether the water is boiled or not. Just by seeing it you can able to understand. So if you see the display here, now both displays have started moving now. So we started with 28.6 from the right display. So we have to wait for another 10 degrees centigrade increase. So that should be 38.6. After it reaches 38.6, what is the corresponding value from according to 38.6 of RTD temperature? So that will be your exact temperature of thermocouple. After you get the value, you have to plot a value between actual reading and set reading. Actual reading is the one which we get from your RTD. That is your actual value, and the occurred value we got from the thermocouple. So by this we can get the linear graph. So we can able to understand in which directions your trend of your graph is moving. So it reaches 38.6. The right value is 46.5 for the thermocouple of J type. So in this way we have to take it for every 10 degree hike. So next one I have to wait for 48.6. The moment it reaches 48.6, I have to find the corresponding value and I have to plot it in my Tableau column. Finally I can generate a graph from that. Now it is reaching 48.6. The corresponding value is 60.6 degrees centigrade. In this way we have to repeat your iteration for every 10 degrees centigrade. You can go up to 75 or 80 degrees centigrade. Don't go beyond 100 degrees centigrade, as the equipments will be unsafe and it will be operating behaving wildly after 100 degrees centigrade. So we can operate under 100 degrees centigrade. That will be safe for us, and you can able to take the value, plot it down. This equipment is very easy for us because you don't have any calculation. Directly you can plot the value, get the graph, and you can get the observation from the graph and write it down your result. So your result will be what is the efficiency of my J-type thermocouple. Say like J-type thermocouple efficiency can be found out by the following formula of measurement reading of thermocouple minus the experimental reading which we get from RTD divided by experimental reading of RTD. So that will give you the percentage of deviation. So with that your experiment will be over. So you have to repeat the same procedure for 5 iterations. Now what we have to do, after you finish the equipment, you have to replace the J-type thermocouple with K-type thermocouple. There are 3 thermocouples will be provided to you and you have to replace that with K-type thermocouple. How you know which is a K-type thermocouple? You will be provided with yellow color wire. The yellow strip of wire will be provided to you. So you have to take the black color outside and replace the water with the cold water and insert the yellow wire inside and repeat the same procedure. You will get the values for that also. I hope you enjoyed that. You can also exercise in your lab and you can take that. Thank you.